Final question is, from a provider standpoint, how can an endurance athlete get more out of working with you as a provider? So I'm going to go ahead and I will start with Brooke.
All right, well, so I think that one of the best ways you can get the most out of working with a provider is, number one, making sure that you're seeing a provider that's really well experienced in dealing with your kind of issues. If you're a runner and you go see someone and they just tell you to stop running, then you should run or limp quickly away. That's who deals with runners. I'm getting a little old. Tell me the question again.
So how can the endurance athlete get more out of working with you?
Right. Somebody else mentioned earlier that gathering as much information before we see someone is really, really helpful. We have standard intake forms for some of our PT clients. We have special intake forms for runners and special intake forms for cyclists. But whenever I can, I try to get people to write me a narrative, a long book of history about their body and their injuries and their training history, their current training loads, and what their goals and abilities are. I want to know everything that I can about that person and their physical function, because it's a giant puzzle. And the more information that I have beforehand, the easier it's going to be for me to create the most targeted treatment plan. It's really important to give us feedback. Sometimes people say, well, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it, and I'll tell them to do something. I go, yeah, I did all that. It was great. It hurt like crazy. And I'm really injured. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that it's not supposed to do that? It's important that, if we haven't spent a lot of time, we really don't know how your body's going to respond to anything that we do with you. So it's always a little bit of a test drive in the beginning, and we really need you to give us feedback, good or bad, whatever. The more details, the better. I love it when I get these OCD people that have training logs with pain diaries in them. It's awesome. So I just copy and paste that right into my document. That's it.
Right. Thank you. So I'm going to ask the same question of Jack. From a provider standpoint, how can an endurance athlete get more out of working with you as a provider?
Okay, so I look at it as a partnership. So someone's going to come, you're going to come see me, and we're going to figure out together what's going on. So we'll come up with some objective measures, objective findings. It could be some range of motion things, if we're looking at musculoskeletal, it could be dietary things. And once we come up with something that's tangible that we can measure, then we're going to do an intervention. And the intervention that I'm going to do in the office is I'm going to do something to come up with this plan. And the thing that you're going to do for me is the homework. So the homework might be corrective exercises, it might be a diet diary, it might be following a certain diet, and then you're going to come back and I'm going to see if you've done those things. And it's called compliance. So one of the biggest things that can help our relationship is following through with compliance and the recommendations, because it helps to make sure that the treatment plan is going to be efficacious and that you're going to get the results. And if you don't get those results, I want to know, is it because my recommendations are not good for your problem, or do I need to refer to a physical therapist or to another provider to make sure that you're getting the correct care?
All right, that was our last question of the panel.